Shitting on women power movies, shows, video games, it's always fun. A bad example is always useful after all. Now that being said, a good example will always be much more informative. Now I found one in the most unlikeliest place, and it is not at all what you would expect. Yes, somehow this 2006 DreamWorks movie actually got it right. Now honestly, I'd recommend this movie for one character alone.
Let me go, you pink-eyed freak!
I'm upset now.
I'm an innocent bystander.
I believe he said his name was Millicent Bystander.
Are we going to do it the easy way or the hard way?
Oh, I think we should do it the easy way, don't you, Spike?
See, Whitey, this is how to do it. Watch and learn, my son. Watch and
Was it in there?
Having not seen this movie in over 10 years, it was not as bad as I thought it would be. The villain's motivation and the final solution.
Wash away once and for all the curse, the scourge of rats.
The characters are a lot more believable in that film than many other movies in modern media. The dialogue is pretty funny at times.
I used to work in a laboratory up top. Yeah, big shampoo job. I was dark grey when we started. Yeah. Still, it cleared up my dandruff.
And the movie's resolution makes enough sense for a movie with cartoony physics. It's still got the same DreamWorks we don't know how to end things so fuck it dance off trope though. Generally pretty good. The woman power angle though is where the movie stands out to me. Now, many a times when movies and shows and games try to prop up their female characters, they generally achieve it by pushing down everyone around them and making the main female character look better in comparison.
What'd you do?
I bypassed.
What that looks like is Ray can fix the ship that she has 5 minutes of experience even being inside compared to the guy who had the ship for decades. OG Batwoman is better than Batman because he gave up on Gotham even after decades of selflessly serving it because she's just there.
And I am not Batman. But maybe I'm better because I'm here.
I think the fuck not, you trick-ass bitch.
Okay, that show is way worse than TFA. Ellie is way more righteous and virtuous than Joel because she would sacrifice herself for the greater good, as the second game tells us. Even though Joel was clearly in the right, considering that the Fireflies are dodgy assholes that happily left him to die, and they non-consensually drugged and prepped Ellie for surgery. Also, if they succeeded with making a vaccine, they would use it for their own gain and not to cure the world, if such a thing is even possible. Now, good powerful female characters do exist beyond that film. They generally hold a certain competence from an experience that they were able to survive from, and either in the same film or in the sequel, they are the main force for good or the mentor character to the main character due to an understanding we have about their past experiences. They shouldn't be able to do everything, but they should be able to do what a character that has been in their shoes can achieve. Good writing is cause and effect. Characters with drive and good reason for that drive, which is why Rita Malone is so believable in what she can do and why she wants to do it. She is the eldest daughter of the Malone family, has aided her father in many excursions with one main goal: to make enough money to give themselves and their family a better life. Now, how do you get the father out of the way so that we get to see the daughter as independently running the show? Easy. You break every bone in his body. Rita is given a very tangible goal: get the ruby, as it has both sentimental and practical value to both her and her family, considering what it can achieve to them monetarily. To add further to her competence, we see that she would have actually gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling rat.
Keep quiet.
Why? Who are we hiding from?
I said quiet.
Quiet as a mouse.
Roddy St. James, the main character we follow in the story, is a classic fish out of water, or rat in sewer water in this scenario. Therefore, I wouldn't classify his misfortunes and constant failures to understand what to do in Rita's world as a form of pushing him down to prop her up. That is where the world building aids your characters a fuckton. If you want a competent/incompetent duo, tons of work needs to be done in the world building to clarify why one is better than the other in that situation, while preferably efficiently introducing the world to us through the eyes of the newcomer. The movie achieves this by having her be an extremely skilled sailor, with tons of knowledge on how her ship works, capable in tight situations and calm under pressure, considering the bustling and difficult life she leads. Generally speaking, that trope will have the incompetent and alien to the world character bring a unique perspective and solve in a way that the other characters who are of that world never thought of. This movie kinda does that, but I wouldn't classify it as a gold standard for that part of the trope. Beyond that, flipping the script and having the roles reverse in terms of competence by going to the opposite world is another part of that trope that this movie does great. And again, at that point, Roddy is the one that spearheads the progression, whether it's his understanding of jewelry,
You can tell. Watch this. When you can't break a real ruby.
or his geographical knowledge of Kensington.
Inverness Gardens, Vicarage Gate, Kensington High Street. Try and go left.
Now, the writers could have made Roddy a buffoon by having him not know anything about the world above, and have Rita more competent by having some throwaway line about how she studied maps to figure out the layout of the world above her. But that would make no sense. It would be unrealistic. Her character is very clearly made to be one that wants to stick to her family and provide for them. And from all the rats we meet, none of them even think of going out of the sewers, considering how much humans hate them and how difficult it is to get there in the first place.
Up there. The surface.
Up top? Oh no. No. The humans don't like our salt.
Not saying it isn't risky.
Yeah, but it's impossible, Rita. No one's ever got past the rapids at Hyde Park.
Another part that this movie does well is that it doesn't have the annoying trope where the main male character falls in love with the main female character automatically for no good reason. Roddy outright sells Rita out for a chance to get back to his old life, because that's the type of character he is, at the beginning at least. Rita treats him with the same scrutiny that she would any rat she doesn't know for doing the same thing. Hell, she even tries to use him as a scapegoat at one point.
Because he's an international jewel thief.
Precisely. What? No.
He stole the ruby from me, and if you
No,
just put me
she's
down...
lying.
It's only when they are forced to help each other because he promises her a real ruby in exchange for his escape that they warm up to each other and by the end become partners. They're not automatically righteous, they are both scoundrels with different goals but with hearts of gold, and eventually they end up working together and achieve what none of them could have done alone. That is a good way to showcase the skills and efficiency that a strong female character could encompass, by having her be local to a dangerous world, by having her be a lifetime sailor and have skills that we would expect a lifetime of sailing would accrue, by having her be flawed and opportunistic but either for a greater good that we don't understand yet, or having her change her mind afterwards because she finds something to care for more than her own interests. We've all heard that flawed characters make for better writing, but I'll add a caveat to that. Realistically flawed characters are even more important for better writing. Ellie being an absolute moron in The Last of Us 2 makes no sense considering her history. Rey knowing everything about everything and succeeding in everything regardless of if she should be able to do it is unrealistic, because she's just supposed to be a human, or at least human equivalent, and as far as I know, humans are not perfect. Except for me, of course. I'm gonna cut that part, that's so cringe. KK knowing everything about Batman's gadgets automatically and having all her technique-based failures be blamed on her tech makes no sense, because no one ever picks up a skill the instance that they start with it. Jai Ling being able to fight just as good, if not better, than her fully trained brother because she looked and did the things they did makes no sense. Like I can become a kung fu master by watching YouTube tutorials. She-Hulk controlling her Hulk stage with no problem and being better at everything that Hulk can do makes no sense because he has way more experience and she just started her journey as a Hulk. So, as a conclusion, watch Flushed Away. It's at least worth a good laugh.